Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Infernape, and this is my battle for Week 8 of the UBC. This week I'm going up against David and his FC Popplio. So David is a friend of mine from the NPL, the National Pokeball League. So I've battled him there. I battled him this season in Week 5, and I did lose that game. It was a close one. It was a 2-0, but it was a long game. I didn't stall that game, but it was just a very long game, kind of slow, but he was able to pull that through in the end with his Mew, because that thing is very scary. But I'm playing him here in the UBC. I'm going to do what I did last week with like a very quick team builder where I pretty much just show my team and then going to go into the battle. Now I did make some transactions actually. So I dropped my Lodic and picked up Slowbro. They're the same amount of points, so it was pretty easy. You can't see the picture of Slowbro with how the screen's set up, but whatever, it's Slowbro here. I dropped him and picked up Slowbro just because this helps me with my big fighting weakness that this team has. And also, I just like Slowbro more than my Lodic. Slowbro just fits my preference more. It's a cool mon. Now I do have some nicknames on these mons. This is something that I came up with after my Week 8 game, so before my Week 9 game. So my nicknames, I named all my mons after presidents because I thought that'd be fun. But these nicknames are not in place for my Week 8 game versus David, just because I didn't think of them in time. But I feel like that's a pretty cool thing to do. Just, I don't know, kind of named him after whichever president I feel like kind of fit. Like this Miltank. This Miltank is named Taft. Can't see the nickname, but it's named Taft because Miltank's kind of fat, so it's Taft. But I did drop the Liepard for Incineroar. They're both the same amount of points, and then I had 1 point left and 1 transaction left, and this was the last week to make transactions, so I figured I'll pick up just some 1 point mon, and I picked up Marshtomp, which I feel like is pretty cheap at 1 point. I feel like maybe it could be 2 or 3. But, you know, it's another rocker, gives me another electric immunity, as it is a ground type, which is pretty nice. Maybe forces some HP grasses or grass knots, which is pretty nice. And it could be a little tough to run hidden powers versus my team, because I do Volcarona, so I might want to run some hidden power rocks and whatnot. So I feel like that's pretty cool. It's a nice pickup. I might bring it once or twice. We have 5 games left, so this game versus David and 4 after. Right now we're 2-5, so to make playoffs I probably have to win out. The top, I think 5 out of 11 make it from each conference, so probably have to win out to make playoffs. So if I lose this game, probably goodbye to the dream. But let's just go over the team I'm bringing versus David. His team, I'll just read it off. I'm not going to put it on the screen because it's going to be a very quick team builder. But he's got Scolipede, which is his Z user, then Necrozma, Xurkitree, Greninja, Serena, Silvally, Klefki, Talonflame, Espeon, Girder, and Mega Garchomp. So pretty scary team on his end. But I had a pretty good idea of what I thought was going to come. I thought Scolipede was going to come. Necro, I think, was maybe going to come. And then Xurkitree, Gren, they both look scary. Silvally, I didn't think was going to come. He hasn't brought it too much. Klefki, I thought was going to come. Girder, he has not brought a lot, but actually has a pretty good matchup versus my team, just because they don't really have a whole lot to deal with fighting types. I mean, I have Togekiss and Slowbro, but he can run coverage at them, so that's kind of scary. And then Mega Garchomp, I thought was going to come, because he does like to bring that a lot, and is very scary. So here we go. Let's just go into the team. You can see the EV spreads here, the move slot here. So bringing a Lopunny, Fake Out, Quick Attack, Return, and Drain Punch, and just dual stab with dual priority. Originally I had Encore and some other cool stuff, but I feel like Fake Out Quick Attack was just nice to help me versus his Scolipede if he wants to pass some speed into anything else like Xurkitree or Gren, or just if Scolipede is in with a bunch of speed boosts, it helps me versus that. Enough speed to outspeed Talonflame. Next we got my Decidueye, just 3 attacks, Roost with Colbert, a nice lure for Gren. It can hit it with a U-turn and pivot out into something like maybe Galvantula, which is Scarf, or my Lopunny, which is really nice. That's a bit of speed for something. Necro? Something. I think maybe just Creeping No Speed Necro or something. I think. So that's what the Decidueye spread is for. Then enough defense to take. Then maybe like a Life or Mega Horn from Scully. Or maybe, I think it was only so I can take like a what's it? Savage Spin out from Scolipede if I'm at full, I think. Next we got my Togekiss, Air Slash, Hidden Power Ground, Nasty Plot, Roost. Running HP Ground, originally I had Flamethrower, but HP Ground hits Klefki and Xurkitree, which would be his most likely switch in, so that's pretty nice. He could run Magnetize on Klefki, but if he does, I can still deal with that with some things, and still I can maybe flinch it, which is nice, and I can Nasty Plot. The spread is kind of random. The speed is for something. I'm forgetting what all the speed is for that I have on my mons. Maybe like Necro. Maybe it's like Girder. No, I don't think so. Something with Necro, I think. I don't know. I honestly forget. Whatever. Running a Kabia too, just help me with Scolipede and maybe Gren, which is nice. Then we got a Citrus Berry Excadrill. Citrus Berry just helps me not get too KO'd by some stuff like Xurkitree and maybe even Scolipede. Salt Rock, EQ, Iron Head, Rapid Spin. This thing can get up rocks, this thing can get rid of rocks. Enough speed for Max Speed Jelly, Xurkitree. Got a Fizz Def, Slowbro here, Signal Beam, Psychic, Ice Beam, Toxic. No Slack Off, but I can switch out and get some health back with my Regenerator, which is pretty nice. Got Colbur to help me take a hit from Gran, which is cool. And yeah, Slowbro's just pretty fat, getting off some decent damage. I feel like I needed the coverage. Originally I had Surf, but I felt like Toxic is okay to still help me versus like Necro, because Necro with Calm Mind is very scary versus my team, and I don't have a whole lot to beat it. Then we got my Scarf Galvantula, Penis Parker here, named after, named after the nickname for Spider-Man in the new movie. I mean, I don't know if I call that a nickname, but it's what the, sort of, not villain. I think the guy who played Flash actually was in it, and he called him Penis Parker, and it was really funny. But yeah, that's what I named this Galvantula after, and it's really cool, because Penis Parker is a good nickname. Just Volt Switch, HP Ice, Bug Buzz, and T-Volt hits his team. Scarf allows me to outspeed Gren, and stuff, and yeah. So let's hop into the battle right now. So you can see my team. I bring the 6 mons that I just mentioned, and he brings Garchomp, Necro, Gran, Scully, Silvally, and Xurkitree. So no Klefki and no Girder, which is kind of nice because Girder could have been a little annoying. No Klefki, a little Shock Vibe, no Spikes, or they could come from Gren, but it'll be a little harder for him to set up Spikes with Gren. I'm not bringing Removal, I don't think. No, because Togekiss was Nasty Bot, and you were just 3 attacks Roost. And oh no, I do spin on Drill, right? I do spin, right? Cool. So that's a thing. Yeah, we could see some Speed Pass into Xurkitree from this team. Silvally, I don't know the type yet, but when it comes in, I believe the game, or the showdown, will tell me the type of Silvally, so that's a bit helpful. So I'm just going to lead with my, what did I lead? Decidueye? Yes, because it's pretty safe lead versus most things. Even Gren, I can take a Dark Pulse, Sky, and Colbur, so he just goes for U-turn, as I think I do the same. As he goes in Scully, I get off some chips, so I can bring in Lopunny here. And a return plus quick attack will be able to kill this thing, and I can live any one hit. So he just protects. So I don't go for Fake Out because I don't think I really need to, and then he'll let me in the next turn anyways. So I don't want to show Fake Out if I don't have to, so I just go for return there because return plus quick attack would kill. Anyways, he B passes into Necro, and this is really scary because if he's Calm Mind, and this is really bad because he could Calm Mind and then he'll outspeed my Togekiss because that speed boost. So I cannot even flinch him and try to. I cannot Nasty Pot and then try to flinch him with Air Slashes that way, so I'm just going to go in my Slowbro, try to maybe Toxic this thing. I think I scout a bit here. Do I just go for Toxic here? No, I go for Psychic, predicting maybe a Scolipede to come in, predicting a Toxic or maybe a Signal Beam or something, so I go right for Psychic as he goes into Xurkitree and I get off some pretty good damage, so he goes into Gren, making a nice double as I do go into Drill. I almost went into Decidueye, except still would have been a pretty good play versus the Xurkitree, but I didn't want my Decidueye to go down there if he went for maybe 2-hit Power Fires, so I go into Drill, which with my Citrus I think I can take both, as long as he's not Life Orb, and if he's Scarf I can take both, so that was a nice play on his part. I have to switch out here. I bring in Togekiss, I think? No, I bring in Decidueye, predicting a Water move, as he does go for Surf. He gets the crit, which is really unfortunate. That damage shows that he specs, and then the next Surf does knock me out. I don't really have to switch into that. I could maybe go into Slowbro, I guess, but Slowbro would have been weakened. I mean, maybe not, so I could have gone to Slowbro, but I felt like it was my best play to sack off my L there, because it wasn't doing a whole lot if it's that weakened. I guess I could have gone to Slowbro, because then I've regen to get me back some health later, but I don't know. I wanted to keep it healthy for Garchomp, especially because there are rocks up too, which will help him weaken me down. But that crit really sucks, because if he did not crit, I would have been able to live. I mean, he probably would have switched, but I could have U-turned, which is what I would have gone for, and then gotten some more damage on something and been able to pivot. So that's unfortunate for me, but it's alright. Not the worst deal, I suppose. I can still maybe bring this back. Scarf Gal is still looking like a threat. So I just click Bug Buzz in case he wants to go into this, or maybe Garchomp predicting a Volt Switch. So we do knock out the Xurkitree there, which is nice. He does not know I'm Scarfed out, which is cool. I mean, he probably predicted that because I brought it in on Ren. I mean, yeah, Spec Surf probably killed me. So yeah, he's probably assuming I'm Scarfed. So he brings in Scully, which can chew a Bug Buzz, knowing that I'm probably locked into it. So I bring in Excadrill as he misses the Mega Horn. I don't think it really comes into play, though. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but I don't think it does. I would have done like 30-35%, which would have not quite put me in range of my Citrus anyway, so it doesn't quite matter. So, and in the following turn, I think a Z Mega Horn would have knocked me out, but I would have gone into Togekiss anyway, so he does B-Pass as I go into Togekiss, predicting an Earthquake or an Aqua Tail. So in comes Garchomp with a speed boost, which is very scary. So I just go right into my Slowbro, as he does SD, I think. No, what does he go for? He does Stone Edge and misses, which I thought he might do, but that wasn't a huge deal. That was a little unfortunate, I think, but I'm not really certain on that. That might have come into play. I kind of forget what happened after, but I just go for Ice Beam here, I think. I know, did I make the play? No, I have to go for Toxic, predicting. In case he wants to stay, which I don't think he would. Maybe he wants to go into Necro to take an Ice Beam or go right into Gren, which is exactly what he did. So here, I have my Colbur still intact, so I can take a hit from this Gren. So he does go for Specs Dark Pulse, still does a lot through the Colbur, but he flinches me, of course. Much sad. I went for Signal Beam there, which would have gotten off some good damage. Not quite yet killed, but would have weakened this thing a lot, and then through some pivoting later, I could have then weakened this thing more and killed it from Toxic. So that was annoying that I don't get off my Signal Beam there, but I can still heal Slowbro a bit through its regen. So I just go right into Togekiss here to take the Dark Pulse, because I resist, and it's cool. It's not yet 2 me, so that's really nice. I just go for Roost here as he switches into Silvally Flying, so we get to know that's flying, which is kind of cool. I guess that's a kind of nice check to low punting, which is cool, good for him. So here I think I just go for Air Slash, predicting him to Parting Shot or something. Yeah, he does have speed, go for Parting Shot. So I Air Slash, I think, just get off some damage on Necro, but he's getting lefties back, and this is looking scary. So I just go into Excadrill, so I should be able to take any one hit as he goes for Power Gem, I think. Yeah, so here I go right for Spin, because I think he's going to switch, but he does. No, I go for Rocks first, sorry. I go for Rocks, and he might switch, and I thought, getting my Rocks up, or getting Rocks up on his side will benefit me a little more than getting Rocks off on my side first. So I do set up Rocks as he Morning Suns, and then he switches into Garchomp as I do Spin. So we get rid of my Rocks and we set up my Rocks. We get rid of the Rocks on my side of the field, and we set up Rocks on his side. So that's good for me. So here he clicks Sword Sense as I do stay in, just to get off some damage in case we did want to SD, because I think at that range Slowbro was going to, yeah, after regen, Slowbro was going to die to a +2 Earthquake, so I just sack off Drill here, because I don't really need it because their tree's gone anyways, and I mean, it's helpful versus Necro, so that's a little unfortunate. So if he does get up Rocks again, then they're going to stay, because my Drill's going to die here to Earthquake, as this thing does outspeed me, showing that he is jolly, by the way. So here I can bring in Low Pony though, as that Earthquake also helps him put this thing in Low Pony range, but if he did just Earthquake instead of SD, knock me out, I could have just brought in Slowbro and clicked Ice Beam pretty freely, or maybe Signal Beam if I was predicting Gren, but either way, he went for SD, knocked out Excadrill. So my play is bring in Low Pony. Fake Out plus Return will knock this thing out. I thought he might stay in case we didn't have Fake Out, because I did not show it earlier, so I thought he might want to stay in, because if I did not have Fake Out, then he could have lived a Return, so I thought he might make that play, but he does grant into Necro on my Fake Out and choose that, so I mean, that was still a safe play, still smart. So I go right into my Slowbro here to hopefully maybe Toxic it this time, as I think I click Signal Beam, predicting the switch into Gren. He takes Rocks, and then bam, Signal Beam, we knock out Gren. That was a big play. That really brings me back into this game, as Gren was a big threat and a nice wall breaker versus my team. So now this is 4-4. It's looking okay. So here, this is still looking a little scary though, because Scolpede is a big threat. And with Rocks up, it's going to be a little harder for me to pivot, but I did go into Togekiss, as he does go right for the Z Mega Horn, which will do quite a bit, but I do take it. So here, I have my Kabia still intact. So I think it was a roll for me to live a Poison Jab, so I just go for Air Slash, hoping that I can live the Poison Jab here, assuming that he has it, which I don't think he's shown it yet, but I assume that he would have it. As he does go right for the P Jab, and I live. That was a little early, but sorry. So I do go for Air Slash, and I miss. Thanks. I think the roll was in his favor to kill with Poison Jab, to be fair, but I saw that I lived the Poison Jab, I got excited, and then I saw that Air Slash go wide left. Just goes right there, like right here, left of the Scolpede, and I got sad. So here I really don't have any other play to make, except for just sack Toge. So that's sad. My Low Pony can still take any one hit and knock this thing out, so that's good. I can bring in Low Pony and click Return and possibly 2KO Necro from this range, I think, but he protects, just gets more speed. And this is really annoying because he can, instead of just dry switching into Necro, he can actually pass some speed into it, which makes it a little more annoying to deal with. As Return, it's going to be doing a chunk. I do actually crit, but with the speed he can Moonlight and, still get health back, and he's still going to beat me. So we go right into Slowbro to maybe get off my Toxic here. As here, I think I clicked Ice Beam, predicting Silvally or maybe Garchomp. As I do go for Ice Beam, and I do a good chunk. Another one might, well, actually, off of that roll, another Ice Beam will not kill. So I do go for Psychic in case he wants to Parting Shot into Garchomp or maybe Scolipede. Or yeah, I was predicting Scolipede coming on the Ice Beam. So I do go for Psychic, case if you wanted a parting shot. But he did T-bolt, and looks like he's modest, I think. So he does a little over half, gets a pair, which doesn't really matter. A Psychic's not going to quite yet kill. Looks like from that roll, might have been able to kill with an Ice Beam, but if he got the same roll as Ice Beam from earlier, then Ice Beam would have not killed him. So here, I'm going to try to keep my Slowbro intact, alive, by switching out and getting the regen back, as I do go right into Low Punny. This makes a nice play, and clicks Air Slash, which is just going to blow me back. I'm not sure if Air Slash killed from that range. Probably did, actually. Because it was stab. Although, it might have been kind of close. It might have been a roll. But either way, he had the chance for a flinch and a pair or two. So I guess, still, even if he didn't kill, it was probably his best play. So here, this isn't looking great. I'm going to bring my Galvantula, which can just pick this thing off. I'm going to click Bug. Yeah, I click Bug Buzz, because it can still kill this thing, or kill anything you might want to switch into. Which is nice. So here, one thing I kind of forgot about. So, I could be in Swarm range if I switch out and bring this thing back in, because Swarm range is like the same as Blaze or Torrent, so if I'm 1/3 health or under, so if I switch out and bring this thing back in, I'll be at 26 from Rock, so I can be in Swarm range after that. So I do switch out and do Slowbro, because it didn't quite yet kill with a Bug Buzz. So I do go into Slowbro and eat the Power Gem. So here, I thought he would want to Moonlight, predicting me, or no, yeah, he wanted Moonlight to try to stay as healthy as possible, predicting me to Signal Beam, and then he could Power Gem. So I go for Toxic here, predicting him to Moonlight, just because did I show all my attacks? No, I showed Signal Beam, I showed Psychic, I showed Ice Beam, I showed Toxic. Okay, I did show all my attacks, so he knows that I don't have Slack Off. So here, he does Power Gem, gets off some damage, as I did expect him to heal, just because if I Signal Beam, if I Signal Beamed him there, then he could have been in range of Galvantula, which could have potentially allowed me to win. Because I think Bug Buzz knocked out everything else, except for Scolpy though. Scolpy does have, well no, if I'm in Swarm range it does knock out Scolpy, and even if I'm not in Swarm range I think it was a roll. But Scolpy does have Protect though, so he can Protect and then get the speed boost, so it doesn't really matter a whole lot because he should still be able to win. So he does not Moonlight and then just knocks me out with another Power Gem, so I do bring in Galvantula here, because it's my last Mon. I'm going to click Bug Buzz, maybe I can bring this back. We do knock this thing out. I think I forgot about Swarm at the time, and then after the battle I realized, oh wait, that's Swarm. I think like all the things were in range of like a decent roll from Bug Buzz to kill, but that was without Swarm. So with Swarm, I can actually knock out everything, except for Necro. Necro would have guaranteed lived, but because I was in Swarm, it died, which at the time I totally forgot about, so I was like, oh wait, why did that kill? Lol. But he does Protect with Scully, so he's going to outspeed me in the following turn, and then going to be able to just knock me out with the P-Jab, so that is a good game to my good pal David. That was pretty close though. It was a 2-0, definitely better than the 6-0 from last week. Granted, there was hacks involved last week too, so, you know, I wouldn't have got 6-0 last week if it wasn't for the hacks. I still probably would have lost though, because my team wasn't great, and Pepsis prepped and played well. But we do lose to David, much sad. We're 2-6, which is not good. I only have 2 of the losses. We inherited a 2-4 record, so we didn't have the best start with the team that we took over, or just with the record, but we are not doing super great. The hacks played a factor in this game for sure. I did get a little bit lucky in some ways, like the Mega Horn miss, but that didn't really matter on X-Cook because I would have died to a +2 EQ from Garchomp either way, and I would have switched out the following turn on his potential Z Mega Horn either way, which if he blew his Z Mega Horn then that could have potentially helped me. Although I'm not sure what range of health Coach Kiss was at the time. But, and then later when he missed a Stone Edge, I guess that was a little bit unfortunate because he missed out on some damage that he could have got on my Slowbro, which then I think I might have died to Dark Pulse from Grand at that point, but I think I would have switched into Togekiss anyways. So, I don't know. But, then I would have had my Cold Burst still intact. But I'm really not sure how I would have played that, what exactly would have happened, so I can't be certain of anything. And the Air Slash miss on Scully was a little unfortunate. But I can't be super upset because I think the roll was in his favor for him to kill with Poison Jab, so, you know, it is what it is. GG to David, though. This was another close game versus him. In my NPL game, it was another 2-0, and it was a close game there, too. So, you know, can't be super upset. It was still a good game, probably pretty entertaining, but, you know, hacks is the thing. It's, you know, it's Pokemon. Can't be too upset, you know, it is what it is. But I will see you guys next week. We play, the Hague Holuchos, coached by, I think Immortal Salamence, or Immortal Mence, I think that's his name, so that should be a good one. I think he's doing really well. I think he's like 6-1, so that game could be tough, but I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.